This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1921. You eat less variety than you think. Embrace it. Part 1 by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Welcome back to another edition of Optimal Health Daily, or welcome for the first time if you're new here. This is the podcast where I act as your very own personal narrator and read to you from the most popular health and fitness blogs online, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. It is the 1st of November. I hope you had a wonderful and safe Halloween if you celebrated. Now, today's article is on the longer side. Now, whenever that happens, I read the first half today and then finish it up for you tomorrow. So with that, let's get right to part 1 of the post as we optimize your life. You eat less variety than you think. Embrace it. Part 1 by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. The first time I ever heard about it was from the family practice doctor in Wisconsin who delivered my son, Salem. The doctor, old enough to be my father, became a man I grew to love and appreciate and would soon call friend. He once told me that he ate a taco salad every day for lunch. The next time I encountered the phenomenon, a few years later, was with a friend at his parents' house. He walked me into their basement pantry loaded with shelves of canned tuna, solid white albacore. He told me that his dad, a professional fisherman, ate a tuna fish sandwich every day for lunch. Two men, both well respected in the community, ate the same lunch every single day. I didn't give the idea much thought after that, other than occasionally being jealous that my doctor friend got to eat a taco salad every day for lunch. Life continued. 10 years passed, and I picked up a copy of Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Body. In his chapter on rapid fat loss, he offered a passing sentence when asked about boredom with the limited food options in his prescribed diet. Quote, "Most people vastly overestimate the variety of their meals." End quote. My mind immediately raced back to my role models in Wisconsin from so many years ago, both of whom had chosen to eat the same meal every day for lunch. They had discovered a routine that worked well for them. Rather than fighting against the routine in their diet, they had embraced the practice. Few could argue with the results. Both were healthy and successful. It got me thinking, what if there's nothing wrong with eating the same meal over and over again? In fact, what if repetition is a good thing? Why not embrace it? You could already be there. As a blogger and overall promoter of the benefits of minimalism, I have seen countless times how people overestimate the number of material possessions they need. So when I read the sentence in Tim's book that most people vastly overestimate the variety of their meals, I almost instinctively knew it was true. I have seen overestimating variety to be true in clothing, entertainment, books, linens, and any number of other examples. So why not food? The Pareto principle has been shown to be pretty accurate over and over again. It means roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. We wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. We use 20% of our kitchen gadgets 80% of the time. We watch 20% of the same channels 80% of the time. And generally speaking, we eat 20% of the same food 80% of the time. Just think about what you have had to eat for breakfast over the past week. Most likely, you've eaten the same couple of meals. Or how about lunch? My breakfast these days, when I eat it, is 2 eggs and 4 strips of turkey bacon. My lunch consists of rotisserie chicken with Frank's buffalo sauce or a salad with chicken. And I know I'm far from alone in these kinds of habits. According to one study conducted in Great Britain by Whole Foods Market, almost 33% of us eat the same lunch every day. Here's the reality. We tend to eat many of the same foods over and over again, but for some reason, we want to deny this truth. We contend that variety is the spice of life. Or we remember our mom telling us, "But you just ate pizza yesterday. You can't eat it again today." We think it reflects poorly on our cultured self or creativity or palate or commitment to health to eat the same foods over and over again. So we quickly convince ourselves that we need to think up something new every day for breakfast or lunch or to feed our family in the evening. But as I've thought more about it, I've realized there really is much benefit to be found in leaning into the reality that we crave stability in our meal patterns. We eat less variety than we think, and there are good reasons to realize that and accept it. why you should say yes to meal routine. Speaking at a conference several years ago, I was asked by a mother of 3 for advice on how to reduce food waste and keep food costs low in her home. By this time, I was a convert to meal repetition. I answered, quote, "Accept the fact that you eat less variety of foods than you think. Don't fight against it. Don't believe society's pressure that you need to be dreaming up something new for every meal. Find your family's favorite meals and serve them often. You'll lower your monthly food costs, you'll lower food waste, and lower your time spent in preparation." End quote. Consider the benefits to us and our families of establishing a regular meal rotation. 1. Money savings. When you begin to establish a weekly routine of your family's favorite meals, you save money by wasting less, learning the correct portion sizes, recognizing sales and good prices, and knowing which spices or condiments to purchase. 2. Time savings. Not only does a weekly routine of meals save time hunting for recipes or new ideas, but we become more and more efficient at preparing each of the meals that we do enjoy. This time saved may be more precious during specific seasons of life, when you have young children at home, for example, but extra time in the day can be appreciated by everyone. 3. Hear that on tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled, "You Eat Less Variety Than You Think. Embrace It," by Joshua Becker of BecomingMinimalist.com. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. As humans, we are creatures of habit. It's actually soothing to us to have habits. Eating the same foods is no exception. Most of us are very lucky to live in an environment where we have basically round-the-clock access to foods from around the world. But the potential downside is that all of these choices can backfire. In fact, when I served as a health educator and conducted weight management classes, I would tell my patients that to help reduce the feelings of overwhelm they might experience with all the food choices, they should create a well-balanced menu and stick to those same foods for a while. It helped reduce some of that meal planning stress we all experience, that last-minute panic that sets in when commuting home from a long day and you realize that you have no idea what you're eating for dinner. But we do have to remember, the key to this is that the menu needs to be well planned and incorporate balance. But more on that on tomorrow's episode. And so that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back here tomorrow to finish up this post. So I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.